Hey guys, this is Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and I have a special guest to me with the dual comm. Who do I have?
This is Christy.
Hey Christy, and Christy, how do we know you?
I am Trevor's or Tmart's mother.
Yeah, you're Tmart's mom. So, all right. So I've got a few questions, a few things I wanted to ask. Here's the first thing that's on my mind. So Tmart, to me and people in this Call of Duty community, seems almost superhuman, right? He's tall, he's good looking, he's respectful, he has a 4.0 GPA. What is the impression that you guys have of him in real life, like around the house? Is he lazy? Is he grumpy? Like, how do you think of Tmart? Is he the same, like, gaming god that he is to everybody else?
He has tendencies to be. No, he really has been a good son. He occasionally has his grumpy moods, but for the most part, I'm very blessed.
All right. So one of the subs asked this. So people don't know, Tmart has a 4.0 GPA. Did he do that on his own, or did you have to, like, stand behind him with a whip and a chair like a lion tamer and get him to do his work?
Honestly, he has done it on his own. Ever since he was little, the rule of thumb I always had with him was before he could do anything else, he had to have his homework done. That's the extent of what I required. And he's just very self-motivated, and I think that comes across in his YouTube channel and everything else. He's really good at doing it himself.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many nights I've been like, Tmart, let's play. And he's like, I have to do this first. And I can tell maybe he's rushing, but not so much that he didn't get perfect grades. So yeah, I don't know. Good kid.
Well, teachers have always said that they would talk to him because he would be doing homework in their classroom from the class beforehand. But then they got to the point that he still did the work in his classroom, and it was never a hassle, so they always just let him do whatever he wanted because he got everything done.
Ah, pro tip. Use your school time, double or multitask there. So here's something I've got going on. I went to this MLG event. You're familiar with MLG events, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And one thing that was interesting to me is I saw all these odd couples, right? People that didn't look like they would be friends in a world where, like, age, size, shape mattered, right? I saw, like, football players and band geeks on the same competitive team just doing their thing together. And you'd look at them and you'd think that they wouldn't be friends. And then it dawned on me, like, oh, they're probably friends because they met in the online world, right? One's from Indiana, one's from California. And if they were in the same high school, they wouldn't be a natural pairing. But because they're both, Halo players, for example, they're, a good match. And they got along together and really never cared about anything else but, like, what's inside and probably gaming ability. Is it weird? Well, better yet, so then I realized, like, Tmart and I are another one of these odd couples, right? I'm 38 years old. Is it weird for you to know that he has a 38-year-old friend? I mean, did you ever worry that I was some kind of pedophile or bad guy?
Maybe I wondered right at the very first, but what I was really pleased with is I felt he had a mentor that could help him through and make good choices as he navigated into this new realm that he's in. I mean, like when you guys went to Boston, I was glad that he had someone that was older, had a family, a little more responsible, rather than a bunch of 18-year-olds heading out. So I've always thought of it as a good mentorship for him.
Yeah, I'll tell you that pressure weighs on me too, right? Like we went to paintball, for example, and I'm like, all right, let's make sure that Tmart doesn't do anything here that his mom wouldn't approve of, because, like, I'm like, am I chaperone of this event here? Like, it crosses my mind. So
yeah, and I think it's neat that all different age groups can get together and they can learn from each other, and just help each other out.
Cool. So how's it feel to know he's going to be moving out soon? He's 18. Has he talked to you about that?
Off and on, he has there certain days when he is in one of his grumpy moods that I'm ready to pack his stuff for him and help him move out.
Uh-huh.
And then there's other days, I mean, it's just been he and I his whole life, so I do sort of worry about what am I going to do now that he's off on his own. But
yeah, so I wasn't going to bring that up on my own, but so Tmart, and he doesn't have any brothers and sisters, and his dad's not in the house.
Right.
So that's like an even bigger change, right? That's a really empty nest.
It's going to be totally empty, and I want to try to do the right thing. I'll miss him terribly, but I've done my work and I've laid the foundation, and I just hope for the best. And he best be calling his mom quite a bit and checking in, and
Oh man, you should have. I've been trying to get him to go to UNC. So I live outside Raleigh, and UNC is like 30 minutes from here. And I've used all the persuasion I can. I'm like, dude, we will bake cookies for you, and you can help me move furniture when we need it. That's my wife's big benefit. And like, if you ever need help with something, I don't know, some sort of encounter, or maybe he needs a safe ride somewhere, like I can be there for you. I want him to be at UNC. I would totally help him out, but he said it wasn't meant to be.
No, it wasn't. He had a couple of tuition scholarship offers to 4 years universities, and then he had a local scholarship. So I think he might stick around here for a little while longer, which makes me somewhat happy.
But when you say stick around there, so I'm gonna totally sell him out right here. He's talked to me about some moving out plans that I wonder if he's talked to you about. He's talked about getting an apartment while he goes to school, even locally. Have you heard that?
It's very minor, but probably not as much, because that's what I'm always afraid of. He's afraid to tell me because he knows that then I'm going to be total empty nest. So, but I mean, he's got it pretty cushy here. He's got an entire basement. He's got an office area, his bedroom. He has his laundry done, and everything else. So, if he wants to lose all that, that's fine.
My guess is he'll start to truly appreciate that after he's lost it, not before. So,
yeah,
yeah, we'll see.
That's true.
There's another thing. So when I was like, I'll say 18, 20 years old, something like that, in my head, I issued this parental report card, right? It was like, all right, so let's see. That time they made me wear high waters or floods, depending on where you're from, for 4 months because summer was coming. Huge mistake. Kids made fun of me. It was a really difficult period of life. Now, that time they didn't let me play sports in 10th grade and instead made me hold a job. Big mistake. But then there were some other things that my parents did really right. Now, you've got an 18-year-old. An 18-year-old headed off to college. Have you issued yourself that parental report card? Thought about the things that you've done amazingly right and amazingly wrong?
Oh, wow. I think I've done a fairly good job just because of the way he's turned out. We've always had a good relationship. He's always been able to tell me things, and I think I've not overreacted to him so that he would always feel he could confide in me. I think there's times I probably yelled more than I needed to or should have. I was pretty strict, but I don't think too strict. I think just the right balance. I don't know. We should probably ask him how he think I did.
Is he right there?
He's right here.
Get him on the mic.
Hello?
Trevor.
What's
So,
up?
I don't know if you heard the question, but here's the deal. When I was around your age, in my head, I issued this parental report card. I sort of looked at my parents and thought about like incidents growing up where I did things right and or not where they did things right and where they did things wrong. You know, when you think about like your mom's parental report card, can you think of some of the things that she nailed and some of the things that she totally missed? Okay, guys, so I'm going to cut this right here because the conversation with Trevor and his mom was awfully long. It was almost like a mini podcast. So I'll put the second part in a second video. I'm already into my third game here. But I encourage you to, like the video and check out part 2 because there are more pictures like this where that came from. I have 3 more, and they're awesome and they're funny. So so that's it for part 1 of my dual comm with Trevor and his mom, and part 2 will be coming shortly. And finally, I want to let you know about my boy Play of the Day. He takes only incredible HD clips. Get out of the closet, guys. We won't judge you. We love you anyway. He takes incredible HD clips, puts them on his channel, adds great commentary, and sometimes it's him, sometimes it's guests, but it's always awesome. I go to his channel and I watch one video after another like they're potato chips. You can't stop at one. So check him out. If the same thing happens to you, subscribe and enjoy.